Hey guys, I am Dominique and you are watching Behind the Scene. And tonight we have our band partners, The Sauce. Woo! Thank you guys so much for coming on. I know a couple of you could not make it tonight, but that is okay. Hopefully they're well and safe. Now, for the people that don't even know anything about you, which I don't understand why they wouldn't, because we've been plastering your stuff
everywhere.
on there, yes. Explain how you became a band, what kind of music you play.
Well, six. Six is
Whose
kind
fault is it that you guys are together?
I'll tell you what, it started with me. I ran into these guys at Fleas about a year and a half ago. It was Devin and Cassidy, and it was the other little drummer. What was his name? Tyler, yeah.
Oh, little Tyler.
So little Tyler. So one day, I don't know how I ended up at their house, but one day I ended up at their house, right? And one thing led to another, and I just got to thinking, like, okay, because I'm a lot older, so I got to think, like, it don't really matter that I'm older, because these guys are playing. They're not playing young. They playing older. So I stuck around. So I called Chris up, and so I told Chris, I said, look, you need to come over and just check this out. I said, I'm dealing with some younger guys, but you need to check it out. So she came over, and we a couple days later, she called me back to tell me what she thought, and we could see a vision. So, and it just kind of mutated from there, and just kept on building. So we just kind of one person up the next. A guy over here, Rob, we did the Monday night thing at the Stepchild, and I could see that Rob could play a keyboard and play some horns and do some vocal. So I just could see the vision. So I invited him over, and one thing led to another. So that's what you see tonight.
It's the mastermind.
That's right. So
Yeah,
I
it's
was
all
kind
your
of,
fault.
I was kind of the guy that put this thing together with all of them. So
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Now, tonight we have in this band two members of SAMI, well, one member from SAMI and the other member from On the Scene, our own Paxton, who you all know is our host, and then Rob Voss, he's on the board of SAMI, and so it's really great that you're part of this and you all rock out for. I love it. I love that you guys are doing this. So your last show was here at the Riff, and when is your next show?
January 16th at the Odyssey.
Ooh, at the Odyssey. That sounds like a lot of
Oh,
fun.
and I just confirmed last night, St. Patty's is going to be us, if Deb is cool, Red Light Runner for St. Patty's at the Ballroom.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah. When they
All right.
open, yeah. That's going to be
So
that's gonna be
that
awesome.
should be fun. Just have to confirm with Deb, but she was pretty sure they'd be down. So otherwise, I confirmed with Kevin last night. We are shooing for St. Patty's. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so we're good.
So what are your favorite songs to play? I mean, your most top favorite. You guys played Michael Jackson. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Give it to me,
baby.
Yeah, we all know that. Yours is definitely the Give It To Me Baby.
Yeah.
All the love songs.
That was the one song.
Which is most of the songs.
Which is most like it.
They play a lot of cool songs. I
Oh my
feel
gosh.
Every
Yeah.
genre, it seems like. There's some great things out of everything
Yeah.
that we play.
I think our new favorite is the Steely Dan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then
Why is it? Why is it your favorite?
It's so fun.
just because it's
Fun to
cool.
play.
Yeah, I'm
It's
trying not to
groovy,
cuss,
it's
dude.
convenient.
It's cool.
It's still got that. It's still got that thing when you play it. When you hear it right today.
It's just like,
still
oh.
does. It's still got.
Yeah, it's that groove.
Same magic.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah. We're talking
Um,
about Steely Dan's Do It Again.
Okay.
If you haven't seen us
Yeah,
play
it's a
yet.
good time. And then some stuff that nobody else plays are some of my favorites, like Jill Scott's Long Walk, our version that we
that's
do
a
it.
jam.
It's
That's
a jam.
definitely my favorite.
I Want Your Love, which is an old chick tune from the 70s, disco action. That one's like in your face, like get the energy going, one of my favorites, which may or may not stay on the show, is the duet between Cassidy and Deb with Third Eye here right now, but it's so sweet. It's so sweet. It's so
Yeah,
sweet.
I love that song.
Get it out of here.
So good.
What's the name of that song?
Best part.
Okay.
Yeah.
about over. It seemed like I think that was going to be over pretty soon. So,
Yeah.
Because I don't know, they are in. Are they not in mode right now?
I don't know. They've been that way. Like
They
I
own
don't
a lot.
know.
They own definitely own a
They
lot.
good.
Yeah,
They're
they're
good.
good.
Yeah, they're good. And the other reason is because it's a little bit too slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the groove going, the energy going. So we'll see. But it is one of my favorites because they're super cute. But
No,
I
it's
don't
too
know.
much. Give me more Prince tunes.
I know. Yeah, give me more praise.
That's what we did.
Which we make changes to every show. Like,
Yeah.
every time we play, we have something new, and that's just because we're never quite satisfied. So
Right.
we gotta like keep working and
Plus,
keep
everybody,
changing it up. Like, oh, we love this so much more. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah. So I don't know.
plus, we're constantly hearing songs. Everybody in the band is constantly bringing songs that we could potentially play to the table. You know, and
Yeah.
we'll listen to songs when we get together for rehearsal and be like, oh, we can play that and it sounds so good.
So good.
You know, and this group has so many talented people that there's no song you hear and you're like, no, I don't think we could play
That was
that. It's
that was
all on
one
the
of
table.
my questions.
And
Like,
there's so
what
many
was
options.
one song that you just one person brought in, and then you all was like, no.
I'll tell you.
Okay, tell me.
Through the fire and the flame.
Oh,
We're not doing that song.
I was like, long walk would be the closest thing.
Long
Yeah,
walk
that
was
Oh
was-
probably-
man, we put
Oh,
some
that
work
takes
in
a
on
lot.
that.
Well, because we I brought that.
Yeah.
So, but
All the
oh,
musicians
sorry.
from Berkeley, they're like all Berkeley musicians.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
crazy good.
It's all good.
But we got it.
Yeah.
We nail it. We play it.
But yeah, I mean that one was when we first heard it. We were all like big eyes looking at each other, like, "Oh, you think we can do this?" And the intro was
That's the hard part.
Oh,
the
man.
hard part. I mean, I say that. I mean, it's not an overly easy song by any shape, but yeah, it was a challenge. But we met it, and I think we kill it. So yeah, not mad at it. But it was at that moment I think that we conquered that we realized, well, dude, we could literally play anything. Anything we have, we could play. And when Jared kills the guitar part in Computer Blue, yeah, all bets are off. We can do anything we want. Yeah, anything. Yeah.
We got some upcoming stuff that we're gonna be trying.
Yeah.
It's gonna be challenging, but it's
Oh, challenge.
Oh yeah, we said January. We said St. Patty's Day, but we didn't say.
Oh,
February, too.
Valentine's, yes.
Yeah.
And we're doing a Valentine's show for the lovers
Nice.
on February 13th at Shuffle.
So Cassidy and
They'll get to play their song.
Devin.
They'll play
They'll
their
get to
song.
play their song.
Okay, they get to play their song.
They can play their song and we all cry and go weird and mushy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw up a little bit on our mouths.
They'll
You're
get
so
it
cute.
off.
They're so cute.
They
I
are.
know, they're so cute.
Well, let's get to your guys' first song. So we will be right back after this clip. we are back. Now I want to get into the music industry part of it. What is your strengths and weaknesses you think you have as a band out there? You know, trying to book yourselves and things like that, and promoting.
I think
and-
we've been very generous and gotten pretty lucky with how we run things.
Not exactly.
I mean, like, okay, first of all, there's like 8 people in this band
Yeah.
that know everybody.
Yeah.
That knows everybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, we definitely worked individually before we became a band
Yeah.
to like market ourselves and like get ourselves out there. And then whenever we just formed a band, everybody already knew who we were. So it's like, oh, there's no way they can be bad, you know.
Right.
So they just kind of, we've been pretty lucky in the fact where like we don't have to be like the startup band where it's like we grudge out at front of house and then go to the ballroom, like eventually make it to the ballroom. It's just very much, oh hey, we did the work on our own time and now we're here with all of us. But
So you're saying we started from the bottom then?
now we're here.
Thank you, Kanye.
Yeah, promoting bands
Yeah.
individually and just bringing in people that way so everybody knows you. Of course, it's going to be good.
So we got-
Well,
we
it
got-
does make it easy
Chris
to
and
vote.
Six.
Well, I was
We
gonna
got-
say Chris and Six definitely like there are like they know everybody between them, and everybody comes out and wants to see them do their thing because they know they're so good, and the rest of us all know each other from school or you know, so
I paid them.
yeah.
I was gonna say we got 8 big personalities in the band. I think in rehearsal that's the biggest thing is that we're all pretty. We have standards, you know, and so at any point if there's anything that's like not quite up there, we're not really reluctant to be like, hey, what are you doing right there? Figure this out. We need to figure it out right now. Which I don't know. That's a cool thing to have, but also it can get a little intense sometimes.
We have great
Well,
times. And
yeah.
A great thing about it, our rehearsals are great. As far as
Well,
our
we
moves,
communicate really well
The
with each
the
other.
atmosphere at rehearsal are great. There's
Yeah.
no, there's no
There's
tension.
never
There's
No.
or negativity or any of
No.
that.
No, so we do keep it professional, both like on and off stage. Like
Yeah.
you know, where everybody shows up and they're there to work.
Well, I think we
You know.
genuinely like each other too, which helps.
I wouldn't go
Oh,
that far.
yeah.
I was trying to be generous.
I just really
no,
don't
but
like
I
it.
do.
chill rehearsal, but
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
We get a lot done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It hasn't always been
Yeah.
since
Now,
How
having
many
said that,
rehearsals do you guys have a week?
Well, it's been sketch here since August because we've had people getting sick and not being able to do it, and then somebody else getting sick and not being able to do it, and then somebody else getting sick. So it's been tough since August. But typically we would like to have 2 rehearsals a week,
And about how long do you usually do that?
about 3 hours.
3 hours.
On average, sometimes longer, depending on what our focus is and what we're doing. But yeah, we've been very diligent and very disciplined. The key to this is that most of us actually practice at home.
Wow.
For those of you, that's how you do things. Just practice at home, and you come to rehearsal, and you're ready.
Yeah.
So
Rehearsal
we've
is
been
Practice and
Yeah.
then rehearsal. It's
Yeah.
not going
That's
to
your money.
practice. You're practicing.
Unless
Yes, yes.
in which case
Yeah.
you can never be ready.
Yeah. But yeah, no, and I think as far as like drawbacks, 8 people.
Definitely.
Yeah, that
So
would
when
be
you're,
my next question.
you
How do
know,
you do
you
that?
gotta split it up.
Yeah,
You know, you gotta split it
How
up.
do you keep a bigger band together? I mean, for those people out there that are really new to the industry, but love the big band feel, how do you do it to keep that
You gotta
together?
pick the personnel.
Yeah.
You really gotta know how. You can tell. I mean, if you've been doing this for a long time, you know what works. You know what works in your environment. It works different for different musicians. But I know Chris for years. I know what's going to keep her comfortable. These guys know what keep each other comfortable. They got another band to do all original funk things.
Funk tank.
So it's a
Not
really
anymore.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but that's been one of the things that's make this thing come together really quickly.
Yeah, you have to like each other before you can like play well together. I think
Open-minded.
that's a very important thing. Be
Yeah.
friends first, and then.
And open-mindedness is super important
Yeah.
because we literally all come from a different place. and all of us are bringing music that somehow moves us individually, and to get 8 people on board with the same song that you're feeling, you would think would be really difficult. What's ironic is that most people think that the old school tunes were picked by us two.
It wasn't.
It's these guys. Yeah, it's these guys. Like, we don't, I mean, we love it, you know, because I know it already, but it's like, no, yeah, we
If
didn't.
anything, I'm fighting for him. You know,
I
like,
know.
now we've been playing
We've
that
been
for
playing
so
that
long.
for
Yeah.
20 years, no thanks. Yeah, and there's some stuff that we've shut down simply because Pearl, especially, has played everything, just about, that you can dance to. So some of that stuff, Six and I are like, oh, please, no.
Yeah.
We played that for 12 years, please.
I will wear you down on the Gap Band.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, we it just works. I don't. And the age difference you would think would bring some like weirdness or whatever. And I have a very strong personality, as most people know. And the fact that they tolerate my BS is fantastic. Yeah, I feel at home. I'm okay there. Yeah, it's cool. And coming from Pearl, which we've had so many incarnations of, and so many musician changes, but we did that for 12 years, so some people just get burned out and you gotta turn it over and you gotta bring in somebody else. The fact that everybody knows their role in this band, nobody is upset because somebody's getting more playing time than somebody else, or, you know, there's no attitude about somebody's song not getting picked for the set list or whatever. There's really not been any of that, which is awesome. And again, it all comes back to
It's
comfortability, people aware of each other and being able to work with each other. So it's kind of great. It's kind of great.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Good stuff. Okay, so we are going to go to your next song and take a break, and we will be right back. So guys, let's get into etiquette. Etiquette in the scene it's here and there. You know, you see some bands that are really great at it and other ones that are not. What do you say? Have you seen any stories that you have of things that you've noticed that was just awesome that a band did? Or
Okay, now
opinion,
when
or
you're
opinion.
when you're speaking about etiquette, clarify that for me. What do you mean?
So, you know, well, not getting drunk on stage, that's bad
Oh.
etiquette. You know, being all drunk and stuff. I have a story, and then you guys have stories.
Okay.
Go on with
Get
that.
it.
So, I used to be a band manager, and one of my members, he fell asleep on stage while playing his bass. Yeah.
Wow.
Because he was too drunk. So the front man went over there and tapped his balls to wake him up. And he's like, oh my God. You know, and just started playing again, realized where he was. Yeah, and
Well, it sounds like you finished the show at least.
yeah, we definitely did. There was another time another bass player forgot his bass. He came to the show. Great haircut. He just got his haircut, but forgot his bass. So, I mean, stuff like that. The
there's a lot of
stories
that.
it's like, what were you thinking? You know, or the times that you've seen bands. I know a lot of bands are up there just saying, hey, don't forget tip your bartender, they've been working hard. So stuff like that.
Okay. This is what our argument was: is that you hired Pearl to play a quiet show.
Huh. What? Wait a minute. That
We're
doesn't
not.
make sense.
That did
Yeah.
not.
We got
compute.
Rick James. We
Yeah.
got
We
we
had-
got
it was-
Rick House. The whole list
The
is
whole
like
just bangers.
Bangers.
The whole thing.
They obviously did not research
Well, I
that.
couldn't understand it. I didn't
Yeah.
quite get it. I'm like, why are we playing mid-afternoon when we should be playing in the evening? But it's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lesson learned. But yeah, and then we've had guitar players, which we won't speak, Jimmy, who repeatedly over the years, and he's known for this, and he knows it, and it's okay. With literally as we're getting ready to start, or as we're starting, he's setting up. Oh yeah, no joke. Yeah, and he knew when to be there, just like everybody else. It's all good. Yeah. But yeah, we've had little stuff like that. You know, we've had. I'm not gonna say it.
that's the life of musicians. I mean, that's
Yeah.
gonna happen. You're gonna have different personalities. It's gonna happen. If you spend years together like that,
Yeah.
you're gonna go through some people. And
Yeah.
that's how it goes. It really is.
Away from the negative.
Yeah.
Some positive. I mean, it doesn't even have to be you being in a band, just stuff that you have seen other bands do, or venues. Not just bands. Venues might. I know some venues will take care of the band that comes in.
Oh my
have
gosh,
you,
it's the best.
Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah.
Or seeing bands do something that you don't normally see bands do.
Yeah, I would say the overwhelming majority is good experiences, honestly.
Alright.
I haven't met too
Yeah.
many bands that I don't mesh with, and they're, introduce themselves and usually help out carrying stuff in sometimes, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
it's also Springfield, so it's pretty.
Yeah, the Midwest.
Yeah, it's pretty close knit group of people.
Yeah, we all know each other.
Everybody knows each other. We're all cool with each other. Typically, I mean, there are some bad apples, as there is at every batch.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But for the most part, like everybody's really kind of has each other's back type thing. Especially when it comes to like venue and shows and things like that. Now, what happens? Personal life might be a little bit different, but yeah. Venues wise, I miss 320s.
What did
Because
they do that stuck out?
We had our own green room, and they would pay for our drinks. They were overly accommodating for us at 320s, which was always really nice. A couple of the venues that we play out of town have always been nice. Like Downstream was always really good to us. But I will say, if there's any venues, people watching, treat your bands well, because honestly, when we want to play for you, we play better. When there's issues, there might be issues. So, just saying, good karma is rewarded with good karma.
Right.
Good energy is rewarded that way. So, and that goes for anything. I haven't seen, cartoons or
Great.
Craig
Yeah.
was pretty good about taking care of us, especially with food and things like that, and kind of going above and beyond. But yeah, I can't think of anything offhand that would have been unusually fantastic or anything. But everybody's pretty solid.
Right. Well, that I would like to get into. Why do you love Springfield music community? I know some of you have not just been strictly here in Springfield, so you have a comparison. Do you see Springfield becoming bigger than, or you've seen Springfield grow? Do you feel like it could even get bigger than what it is now?
Actually, I think it went on the decline.
You think it did? Since what year? Like
COVID.
decades?
Uh,
Before
I
COVID.
think it's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean,
actually.
I can go back for it. I can go. It seemed like the events, even like the Blues Society deal. We used to have it downtown. Remember, they used to have that
Right.
downtown. Maybe because it just wasn't enough room, they started moving to different places. But it seemed like the atmosphere of it was way better because it's more close knit, right there in town. But
Well, and you have a point too, because for years all the live venues were in the square.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
rarely that you had them outside. There was like one or two venues outside, but now, most of your live
Yeah.
venues for music are not in downtown
Yeah, a
area.
lot of downtown live music
So-
is not like it used to be. It's not.
So do you feel that that's the reason why it's changed? It's because there's not as many venues as there was downtown?
Well, when it comes to Springfield, I can totally say that
Yeah.
because that's to me. That seemed like that was the ground zero for and then everything else just branches further from the ground zero downtown.
Which is why I'm hoping that like the Outland and Ballroom, Odyssey, the complex really
Brings it back.
brings it back, dude, because we need it.
Because without that, all you got now is you got the shuffle in here.
Right.
And I also think the quality of bands was not good for a while. And the only reason why I say that is because people got a lot of the bands that were heavy hitters even 2 years ago, and this is like just after Pearl kind of quit doing its thing, had been playing for so long that people kind of get burned out a little bit, and you could kind of feel that in the atmosphere just in town, that it was kind of like, okay, well, we've seen all of that, we've seen all of this, we've seen all of this, we know what they can do. Is there anything? Part of the reason why we quit Pearl was because what else are we going to do? We've done everything. It's time to like do something else. You know what I mean? And it would be interesting to see more of these bands that have been playing for a decade to kind of do what we did, and that is kind of branch out and find new players and new sounds and a new new things to get involved in, only because it kind of rejuvenates things. There's a new energy. Right now, I would say, and I'm slightly biased, but I think us and Red Light Runner right now are the two bands to see. A couple different reasons. We're playing things nobody else plays, and the musicianship to which is being executed in these shows, and the energy to which is being given is just needs to be experienced. There's some old heads like Members Only and the mixtapes and all these guys who are still killing it and doing their thing, and we love them to death and want them to keep doing their stuff. And I don't think they're going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? I think they're always, and I know the mixtapes always tries to keep it a little bit fresh too. They do new stuff occasionally and stuff like that. So I always look forward to seeing them. I just think before COVID, it was on a slight decline only because there wasn't a whole lot of anything new happening. I think that's changing. And even with COVID, I think COVID has forced some of us to collaborate and do things that otherwise we would not have done previously. It's making people communicate with one another, musicians that may not have played with each other before, that are now out of work, that are not working as often, that are not doing certain things, are now calling each other and collaborating and doing things even in the studio and on live and all kinds of stuff, which to me is freaking awesome because it creates a whole new vibe, which, man, sometimes you just need that.
Right.
Yeah, and I feel like Springfield is to touch on the playing other places and living other places and kind of understanding what we have here. Springfield will always be a musical mecca. There's so many talented musicians here. Branson being just down the road, I think, has a lot to do with it. Plus, this whole area has a musical background. I mean, we're talking about from the silent film era before, with the hillbillies and the all of that. Like, there was a huge movement with music in this area, period, all the way back to the turn of the century, and we're talking like 19th, okay, not 20th. So, there's a lot of foundation here for roots music and mountain music and music that actually kind of, reaches everybody. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're kind of expanding on that. There's other bands expanding on that. And I don't know, I feel like it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because there's a lot of young people that are coming out now with solo things, coming out now with collaborations. People that I've never seen before that I'm like, wow. Hit the open mics. You would be surprised. Odyssey has a great open mic on Thursday. Shuffle has a great open mic on Wednesday. If you're new to the area and want to get to play or want to get to know, those are the best places to go to meet musicians and other players and stuff like that to get involved. But we'll always be a music mecca here. There's more musicians and more people playing on the weekends here than there is in Atlanta.
Wow.
Seriously. Per capita, there is more going on in this town on a Friday and a Saturday night than there is in St. Louis, Kansas City, Columbia, all of them. I promise.
Why do you guys think that it's so hard for bands to get a crowd of people to come out to the shows? With there being so much going on, wouldn't you think more people would come out to them? Do you think it's a lack of promotion or just the people that live in this area not coming out?
I think it's a combination of it, actually. I don't think people promote enough. And two, people get burned out with seeing the same bands all the time.
You really have to
same
when
stuff.
you put together a band. I mean, if you a musician around here, you already kind of scoped out the scene. When you come back with a band, you don't want to come back with somebody that already been here.
Yeah, you gotta make yourself.
You gotta come. You gotta come back with something fresh that ain't nobody seen because we didn't seen everything.
And it needs to
So
be.
It's hard to impress.
Yeah, it needs to be executed well too because there's too many good bands around here to be half-assed.
You have to come back. You have to come out with something that's fresh that That you can't go around the corner and hear it. But if you do, ain't nobody come here already heard it.
Well, and
It's not gonna say it.
if there's 4 bands playing the same song, I promise you, not all of them are doing it well.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound different, and you're going to start picking and choosing who you're willing to go see and who you don't want to go see, who you want to spend your money on, who you don't want to spend your money on. You know.
I mean, we
yeah.
definitely have a big mixture of cover bands here, tribute bands, and then the original bands, which we don't really have that much anymore like we used to.
Original bands don't make it in Springfield.
Well, part of that is the atmosphere here.
I had to go into St.
Unfortunately.
Louis and Kansas. I mean,
Columbia,
I mean,
Fayetteville.
I was messing with that way back in '91, and never have I seen an original band come to be anything in Springfield.
Other than maybe Speakeasy did their thing for a long time. Mood Ring Circus did their thing, but these are bands that not everybody's coming out
They
to
were
see.
in
It.
spurts.
They don't know.
Those
Yeah.
bands were in spurts.
Yeah, like Luna J.
They were in spurts.
They are amazing.
No, they're amazing.
Yeah.
and They've been around for 10 years, but
Yeah,
you
but
still
they're
are going
live,
to find
they-
people that don't know who they are.
They were in
Wow,
spurts.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a genre, a great, like you go to Seattle or something like that, you got all these great bands that's doing original music and people supporting it. Those bands here that's doing original stuff, they were creating spurts. They wasn't, it wasn't just a crowd of them there. They came here and then 5, 6 years later something else came, it just came as, just
Right.
sprinkled. Because nobody was making any money off original music here in Springfield.
What do you think the number one thing that everybody as a community should do to help Springfield get to a better spot as a music destination? As a community.
Support your friends.
Yeah. Go
Support your friends. Go out, even if it's just once a month. Go out. Go see your friends. There's so many people that don't choose to. They'll go pay to go see some big artist from out of town and spend $150, $200 on a ticket, but don't want to spend $10 to come see your friends play. Like, it's weird. And you even know that money could help support their life, their world, their everything, and yet somehow we still don't come out. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, and I don't know what you can do to fix it.
There seems to be a shift in Springfield to me. It seemed like there was a shift. All of a sudden, it was for a moment there was people just all over live music.
All over, yeah.
Then there was a shift. I don't know if it was just a generation shift, which is probably what it was. But it was. That generation wasn't interested in the music, live music.
Live music, DJ.
Like that. They was not. So it was a shift like that. Cause y'all know this, at one time, it was all about live music. Everywhere.
Oh, everywhere.
out.
And I think it's coming back to that though now, because I know that my daughter's generation literally looks for things they can connect to lyrically and otherwise because they don't like radio. So, I feel like it's coming back around to that. I feel like there's more of an appreciation. The younger generation has appreciation for music, things like that. They're looking for a certain sound that touches them, but there's not a lot of bands here that are playing those type of things that generation necessarily is going to be looking into. People come and see us because they listen to this music, their parents listen to this music, their grandparents listen to this music.
Right.
And we're playing things that we love to play. So when someone comes to the show, they can feel that we love what we're doing. We love what we're playing. We chose these songs on purpose. These are purposeful tunes. Like, we've worked on this thing for a year and a half now. Like, we love what we're doing. And when you're playing regurgitated music, meaning something somebody else wrote, I've always hated the stigma of somehow we're not musicians because it's not original. Let me explain something. It is harder to play a cover song than it is to play your original. Just saying, your original's yours. You get to do whatever you want to with it. But guess what? We're playing a cover. Everybody in the audience needs to recognize what the hell it is. And if they can't, guess what? They're going somewhere else. So what we do is we interpret cover music to be ours.
Right.
Just like the song originally was done and it made it theirs, we're making it ours. So we change it up a little bit. We make it what we feel like as an 8-person band, what we could do to, I guess, make the original songwriters proud. And I feel like the audience feels that. There's a lot of bands that are playing out right now that are playing things because they think that's what the crowd wants to hear. Stop it. Do what you want to do. The reason is because if you love it, the crowd will too. It's just what it is. If you're playing something because 2 other bands in town that are successful are playing it, I promise you, you're not going to be successful that way. You just can't. You can't be
Can I add a
successful
note to
way.
that?
Yes, please.
Because you're correct, and there's one other factor that I think goes really overlooked when you're talking about local scenes and local bands and the way that they interact is people who go to see live music seldom will say what they want to hear. There's kind of almost this implication that you have to go see the band and you are supportive and you provide constructive criticism, but there's hardly ever anyone who says, on social media or to their friends that play music or something, they say, I want to hear a band that can play this. I want to hear. No. Nobody. I don't know of anybody, any bands in Springfield that are coming out with playing Mac Miller and Lizzo tunes.
Right.
We have got to be the only people, or at least only
That's true. I don't think I've heard of any other bands.
and
You are the only band.
the young people
Yeah.
that come to our shows, every time we hit those songs, and I say every time when we've played 2 shows, but lining the stage up here.
Yeah.
Love that stuff because nobody else is doing it, and it's what they want to hear. And if you enjoy that sort of thing, and you have an idea of what you would like to hear a local band play, because we don't, get, especially now, we're not getting national and international acts in Springfield as much as we used to.
No.
So if you have music that you like, if you have a genre that you want to hear either covers, or if you think that hey, I want to hear some good musicians in my area put out their own, version of this style or this genre, tell people, because,
Yeah.
Give people what they want is a big rule of this industry. You go play what the crowd wants. You want your audience to be happy, and I never would have imagined that we would have gotten a reaction with those songs that we did. But we played, I think it was Ladders, both here and at Shuffle, and the reaction, how into it people were, it blew me away. I thought, when we played those songs, I was like, yeah, a few people will be into that. They'll recognize it as something different than your average people. I was dead wrong.
Everybody loved
Almost everybody in the house was into those tunes, and everything that we play like that, where it's a little bit modern and they can get up and dance and they recognize it and they see it as something that's a cut above, not only musically but socially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it's the idea oh, these guys are maybe playing something intentionally different that they think that I want to hear. So that is what advice I would give to people. If you want to see live music and you want to see live music how you like it, tell people. Put it on social media. Be like, I want to hear. I'm so
Freebird.
No.
Well, it's just like some of our fellow musicians. Some of our fellow musicians and other bands have inboxed me and said, "Hey, this was after our first show."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh my God, you guys would kill this song. You guys would kill this song. This song would be killer. You guys would grab it, but we've taken it back to rehearsal and we've been like,
It was pretty easy to see where we could go. Because
Yeah.
So what they're
because of
saying,
the
guys, is contact their page and let them know what kind of songs you would
Blow
love.
us up with requests.
So,
Maybe.
I need to wrap this up. I'm sorry, guys.
That's
I've been
okay.
definitely enjoying our conversation. Is there any questions that you wish that I didn't ask? Too bad. Wish that I did ask. Any kind of advice that you could give budding musicians, people that are
Keep
just
playing.
now into the industry or trying to get into the industry? What?
I know I just went off on
Yes.
a tangent, but I'll make this one shorter.
It's okay.
We practiced. Stop. That's over my hands. No, we practiced for close to a year before we played a show.
Uh-huh.
Right now, if you're sitting at home because you can't go anywhere because of quarantine or lockdown and social distancing and everything,
Join a band.
there's gonna be a boom when this all ends. There is gonna be people wanting for weeks and weeks and months to go out and have a social life that they haven't had for the past year.
Yeah.
They're itching.
They
itching
will
to
be
get out
itching.
there.
The people. That's why we put out a great product, and we have been so lucky that even amongst COVID, we have had a fantastic
Oh.
turnout at our shows and
Yeah.
response.
No, I just got chills. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So if
really
you
great.
have something that you want to do, if you think you want to be start a new act or a new band or whatever, this is the time to be rehearsing and putting it together. Because by the time the lockdown ends and we go back to some semblance of normality, that's going to be when you can get booked. You show if you have any sort of quality product, they're going to be like, yeah, we'll book it. You know.
Yeah.
So
And do something different.
do it now.
Yeah.
Do something different.
I mean,
Don't play our
Southern
songs.
Rock's great.
Don't
but-
play our songs.
Don't play your songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mainly just keep playing. Never stop playing. Like
Yeah, just keep playing.
I know most of us. I know Jared, and I don't know some. I don't know him personally. He's me homies, but. But I know.
Yeah.
But I know Jared, and I know I at least practice like probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours a day.
Oh, every day.
Not every day, but I mean like practicing, like don't stop playing or listening to music or trying to figure out new ways to do different things. Like be creative, open your mind a little bit, get weird,
That's my philosophy.
get weird,
Yeah, that's possible.
Anything
That's
else
legal.
you guys you want to add?
legal weird.
Legal weird.
Legal weird. Legal weird.
Legalize weird.
Yes, yes,
Legal weird.
Okay, well, guys, where can they find you on the interwebs?
Facebook. We also have an Instagram coming soon.
Yes, and it's
Very
under the Sauce Band.
Yes.
The Sauce Band. If you just put in the sauce,
It will not.
you might get other things. So put in the Sauce Band. We are there. We have 2 events out right now. The third, of course, for St. Patty's will be out pretty soon. But right now we've got Odyssey, January 16th. Brian Copeland's going to be opening for us. Very excited about that. And then February 13th for all the lovers in the house. We're doing a Valentine's show at Shuffle, which will be. I'm very excited about that. That's going to be a good time.
Right.
And then St. Patty's, either March 17th. We haven't decided yet if we're going to do it on St. Patty's or if we're going to do it for the pub crawl that weekend before, if they even have it. I don't know. Yeah, if they have it. So, but we're going to be there. Yay!
Oh,
Good
sweet.
stuff.
Thank you guys again for being on, and of course we will have you on again.
Yes!
Something a little more fun. I'm thinking like a game show type of thing. Have
We should
you
go
guys-
bowling.
Oh, that sounds
Should
fun,
go
too.
bowling.
Bowling
I'm
for
gonna kick
sauce.
all y'all.
you're gonna destroy.
So we're gonna have their last song play us out, but thanks guys for joining us, and you've been watching Behind the Scenes. See ya.
Bye.